So I want to start off today with today's a big day, but I need everybody's help. My friend Lino has been battling leukemia since he was 8 years old. So I just came from visiting him, and we talked about some special things that he wants to do. And one of them is provide Kleenex boxes for people, new Kleenex boxes for people that are in the hospital. Because I was there today, and I actually saw the Kleenexes, and they're hard, they're small, they're really bad. So just little things like that that can make a huge difference. So I need your help by helping me raise 5,000 boxes, at least. I mean, I want to be greedy and get more, but at least because I think that's something small and something we can do and dedicate tomorrow's game to Lino. And the hashtag is Lino Strong, so that's what he is, and he's a fighter. And he's fighting really hard right now, so the least we can do is get those 5,000 Kleenex boxes, which I'm confident that we can have help, and you guys can help me do that, okay? So it's something special to me, and I really want to make him happy and to do that. And he's going to FaceTime in tomorrow, and just a great kid with a huge heart that's thinking about other people during his hardest times. So we're going to get at least 5,000. PJ, I need your help too.
So two questions. What's his last name, and do people bring the Kleenex boxes? Are you gonna have bins or something?
Yeah, so, and this is kind of on the fly because I just got back from the hospital. So we are going to have bins set up on the concourses. They don't know that yet, but we're doing that. Have bins set up, and then we're going to get it distributed to one of the managers there at the hospital that they can store it. So, but they have to be brand new boxes, obviously, of Kleenex, a good brand, because I think when, kids and families need the Kleenex in there, they're crying, and those things don't absorb anything, or bloody noses, they can't absorb that. It takes hours, so it's just important. But yeah, we will get all his information to you after this, and then we want to do that. But our motto tomorrow is Lino Strong. So you can bring one box, you can bring 100, you can bring 50, and you're doing something really special that's extremely important.
Open the floor up to questions for Coach Barnes. PJ, if you want to get started.
Sure. I'd like to start out talking a little bit about, asking you a little bit about Nettie.
Hmm.
So she's got skills that seem like a lot of freshmen don't have, and some of them are innate, and some of them are learned.
Hmm.
Could you share what you see in her as a freshman and what those are?
Yeah, so Nettie is just gifted. She's a great athlete. She's like one of the strongest people I've ever seen at her age. So that's something that we can't teach, like her strength. But I think now it's just about learning how to use her strength and getting more on balance and just getting the basic fundamentals that she's never learned. But she has so much potential. She is a pleasure to coach because she's coachable. She wants to be good. She's a great kid, great student, like all those things, great teammate. So I'm excited. I think the future is bright. And if you ask me who the surprise will be, she's going to be one of the surprises. Like, she's our future. She has good hands. She runs the floor well. And she's never done any of this stuff. So all the stuff she's doing now, besides like shooting layups as a post, she's never done. She's never trapped an on ball. She's never hedged an on ball. She's never guarded a guard in transition. It's all new. Like, she is green. It's all new. So it's fun to watch her improve in the process.
And some of the skills that she has, like her soft hands
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, we asked her and she said that's in her genes.
Mm-hmm.
She never knew. People were always talking about it. She didn't even know. She just does it.
Yeah, I think that you can't teach like soft hands or the ability to catch, because if you look, some people don't have that. They have really hard, stiff hands. So that's something I think that you just have. But she comes from an athletic family, father, a really good soccer player. So she has good genes. Her brother is an NBA player. So the genetics are there, but then it's like using what God has given you and then getting your skill better. So I think that's what she needs to improve on, and she's learning. Like, she's so strong, she doesn't have to ever fade. Like, understanding that as a young player, that's the difference. Or you don't ever have to shoot off balance because you're stronger, but you can just like go up strong, right? Teaching her the habits of that and the consistency of that. But yeah, she does have good genes, which is important because you can't teach someone like Bendu. Look at Bendu, like her body, like she has good genes, like body strong. Like, I've never had a 12 pack, right? Or just chiseled. Like, that's who she is and what she has. But yeah, we need to teach her the fundamentals, and she's got to work, and she's been working hard, and she really wants to be good. So I think you're going to see her be a really good impact player for us.
And I just have a couple more things.
Yeah.
So she told me that soon as the game's over, when the film gets uploaded, she looks at it, and then she goes over it with one of her coaches. And then she also, for each game, I know that you guys have specific goals, like you want to keep teams under a certain number of points,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. But she has individual goals that she tries to do each game. Is that something that you have each of your players do, and you just haven't talked about that yet?
Well, we talked, so I didn't know she had her individual goals. I'm glad she does as a freshman, because usually you'll see the upperclassmen start to get those. But we have talked a lot about, like, you can't do things without goals. Like, and it was amazing because the other day I was like, well, how many people have actually written down their goals? And then it was like 2 people. I'm like, how are you guys going to attain your goals if you don't write them down? So just understanding, like, it's a process. So you should have, like, daily goals. You should have weekly goals. You should have short-term, long-term, like, things like that. So that means she took that and ran with it, which I love. See, that's what I talk about, her being coachable and wanting to be good, because the fact that she's doing that is a step. And I think that's a positive thing, because I don't think you can achieve any of your goals if you don't have a plan. And so I'm happy. I'm happy she does that, and that's good. So I'm going to have to ask her about that. So it's good.
And then the last thing is, what does it take to be a great post player?
It takes a lot of hard work. I think, when you're a big 5, strong post player, you need to be fit. I think that you need to be able to score inside off of, like, great post players can score off a no move. So you don't have to go dribble. You get positioned to just take a layup, which is a really high percentage shot. You have to be able to guard the ball and guard the post players inside, which she's learning. And I think that you bring your game to the next level when you can step out. Like, for our 5s, they need to hit 15-footers, trail 3s, like, be a threat, or else no one guards you on the perimeter. I think those things, it's your game goes to the next level when you can pass the ball. Like, knowing where to pass the ball. If you watch Araya, she's got some skill and some things she does naturally. Like, she's a very good passer, and she's a very good screener, and she gets positioned well. So I really love the fact that she's that Nettie's under her wing, and she's going against her every day. She's learning of, like, things she does, and then she's going against Lauren and Kate because they're more versatile. So she's getting better every day. So, but I think it's just the film and those things help her learn the game better. She has to learn the game, and she doesn't know the game yet. But I mean, a lot of freshmen don't. Yeah.
So, coming up Friday, you have Mercer, and how do these games, or Marist, sorry.
Marist, yeah.
How do these games prep your freshmen, your underclassmen, get them prepared for further down the line? Because you talk about earning those minutes,
Yeah.
and earning the role. How do they prepare you?
So these games prepare you with experience, getting minutes. Like, I'm able to play more players, but Marist is a good team. They shoot the ball well. They move the ball well. They're coached really well. They were a tournament team, so it's not an easy game by any means. If you look across the country the last week, there's been a lot of upsets. So these games prepare us in different ways. So a lot of mid-major teams are really versatile. So that makes Araya, Nettie, Lauren, they have to guard a guard-like post, which is a challenge. These teams shoot the ball well. So you have to be able to close out on shooters, know who shooters are, know who we're full closing out on. And then just, I think, the experience, like giving valuable minutes in certain situations, you get experience for later. And in the non-conference, you're supposed to be building a program, building a team, figuring out your identity, figuring out your rotation, because you'll need these players later. But when you play teams like Louisville, the rotation gets shorter. So you want these games where you have a longer rotation, so you can see what people do in game situations, and then you earn more time. Because the reality is, it's hard to play 15 players. So, the minutes you can get, or Nettie gets, they're valuable. And in the Louisville game, unfortunately, it wasn't a game that I could play her in. Not that anybody did anything bad. It's just the post ahead of her were playing really well in their experience, and that was a one-possession game. So when I can get her experience, like, she did great last game. Put her in, and Nettie's just on fire. But it's important for all those players to have that experience. It helps us in long term.
And where have you seen the biggest development in terms of, just play or
The freshmen?
The freshmen understanding the system and, getting them great with the game.
Well, I see it every day in practice. I think that practice is, you have an opportunity every day, and that's where you earn minutes. And I've seen people get better in practice, like the way they're competing. Like, Darren's competing really well and playing at a high level right now. She's running the team well. She's working her butt off defensively, and I like that energy. And I think Anna Gretz, learning a whole new system. Nettie's learning a whole new system. Giselle at the language barrier and the system, so it's a process. But like if they get better every day, and then they get some experience in these games, then they're more ready. Because the reality is, you need your players. Like this is still a COVID. Things can change like that. We saw some games yesterday canceled. So you could have one day you could have 5 players or 6 players and still want to play. So everybody's really important. I think, opportunities knock softly. So when you get the opportunity, you have to make the best of it. And I thought last game we were able to give a lot of opportunities. So you see who kind of steps up. And then as coaches, we get more confident in them. So.
You're talking about practice. The gold jerseys, what are the criteria for who owns them?
So we have a list of criteria. So every day we stat a whole bunch of like statistics, like scoring is worth a certain amount of points, turnovers are minus a certain amount of points, offensive rebounds, diving on the floor. So it's not all like statistics stuff. Some of it's like body language, attitude, those things. And then it's calculated daily, and then at the end of the week, the person with the most points wins. And it was funny because last week it was the closest. It was like 4 people within like a point. So like the winner had 54.5 points. The next person had 54. And then it was like 53.5. Like it was the closest it's ever been. Usually 2 people are close and the third is a little off, but it was like 4 people. And so it's exciting because it's that close. And Darren won it for this week. It's her first time in 2 years. She had never won it. So that was pretty cool to see different people. Before it used to be like the Kate Reese jersey. She always got it. But now different people. So I like that. And Darren was really happy. And so it's a daily thing and then weekly. And then what it does is you're like that person of the week. You get to like choose the meals daily because there's a whole bunch of restaurants they can choose from on the on the red card. So they can choose like Chipotle, Panera, whatever they want. And then so it's the food they like, but usually there's peer pressure from the teammates. And then they get to like always have the ball. Like if it's a defensive drill, they get to start on defense. If it's an offensive drill, they get to start on offense. And then they don't have to run in certain things, but they usually always run, but they don't have to with the gold jersey. So they kind of have, it's like they're kind of the mini coach for the week. They have some input, so they like it. They like it more than they act like it. Then they get their picture on the poster board, so they feel special. I think they act like they don't care as much, but they do because they're always over there checking the numbers. So I know it's working. And I think it's just motivation and practice. It's fun. I never had a gold jersey in college, so I wish I would have. Yeah.
With Nettie, going back to her, what did Lisa tell you about her wing?
Lisa Griffith.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lisa and I, good friends, coached her. She's my college teammate, coached her in AAU. That she has so much potential. The bad thing, Lisa, a really good coach, didn't have her all year round. So would have her for like a few weeks here and there. You know how AAU is, you just play games, you don't get a lot of practice. So, but Lisa always talks about how good she can be. And it's funny because Nettie came here completely transformed. So if you would have seen Nettie 2 years ago and today, it is she's a different person. She took it upon herself to get in shape. I mean, she had never been in shape and run the floor like she does now. She got serious about like her fueling and started working harder. She never really had to work hard in high school because she was so much bigger and stronger. But she took it upon herself to make that transformation. And, after seeing her in person, it was like, wow. Like I saw pictures, but it wasn't until she came in person because I had first seen her in 8th grade. She looked like a completely different person. I was just so proud of all the work. So she put all the hardest work in. That's the hardest thing in high school to do that. And then to maintain that now and get even better, she's doing amazing. So I'm proud of her.
So the NCAA came out yesterday and said they're going to have expanded from 64 to 68 teams starting this March.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about having these first 4, as they call them?
Yeah, so I'm all for it. I had mixed feelings at first, and then I talked to someone, and the perspective that I was given, I was like, yeah, actually, that's true. So why not give 4 more women's teams the experience? I think it's a valuable experience. I don't think the experience should be any different. And so for me, I don't really care about the quality. If people say, oh, it's going to be, I don't really care, because if you look at some of the men, the quality of people making the tournament's the same. So I'm all for giving 4 more women's programs the experience to reach the NCAA tournament. I think that's an amazing experience, so I'm all for it.
When I think it was Arizona, they put up you guys are 5th in attendance right now
Mhm.
How does that make you feel, knowing that when you first came to Arizona, you guys couldn't get, 2,000 fans, and now
Yeah.
you're fifth in the country?
Yeah, so I think, and I also think that number is a little bit off for us. I think it would be higher. A couple reasons. I think COVID has affected it because of the whole mask situation. It's viewed differently. And then also, we've had like Monday night games. We've had some really rough nights, like a Monday at 5, like to still have 6,000 people. I was actually surprised. So I think when we get into those Friday at 6:30, which is a good slot for us, Sunday afternoon, I think our attendance, I think will be top 3. I just wish COVID situation wasn't here because I feel like we would have had like 3 or 4,000 more people at games. But it is what it is. I'm proud of that. 5th, that's really good. But I think it's going to get better. And as we win more, so I think people were like, are they going to be good or not? So now we're going to be okay. I think we'll get more fans. But you know how that is. People are always just wondering how you're going to be when you lose good players. So I'm excited. Big difference. Yeah.
Any more questions for Coach Barnes? Awesome, thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, you guys.
Oh, perfect. All right, guys, got Bendy Yaney here. We'll just go ahead and get into questions. Troy?
So, Bendy, so far this season, we've seen you handle the ball a lot more. I think last game you had 4 assists, the game before that 5. How much more comfortable are you this year with offense compared to last season?
It's simple because I have a year under my belt. Last year I kind of didn't know like the system really well, and so I had a lot of mistakes and things like that. But this year I was able to clean it up, watch a lot of film in the off season and things like that. So now I'm just more comfortable, and Adia's putting me in good positions. So.
And on those lines, how much have you been a distributor, prior to Arizona?
I'm always a pass first player. I think I let the game come to me. I like to have my teammates score, and then I just hit up open shots and things like that. So I always like to pass the ball. I'd rather have like 10 assists and 2 points, but I like to score too. But I like to get my teammates involved too.
So what is it that
Yeah. I think that we just need to win games, and so I was put in that position to win the game against Louisville. There's going to be different people stepping up. I think they just wanted me that game. Kate has been playing phenomenal. She's going to get her opportunities too, and she's going to knock them down when she gets them. So I think everybody has their opportunities, but I was just the first one.
You mentioned that you worked on your shot this offseason.
Mhm.
You've seen it help you out this season. Is there something different in terms of shooting motion that you're doing? Is there any difference?
Nah, not really. I just got a lot of shots up this summer with my trainer, and we just worked on things that I wasn't confident in, and now my shot is feeling good, and I'm confident in it.
And I have some questions about NIL. You're doing some of that, right?
Yeah.
What exactly are you doing in that arena?
So I got 3 deals right now. I got one with Pathwater, C4 Energy, and then PSD Underwear. Honestly, I have a family friend that's helping me out with everything like that. So I'm not really I just kind of they tell me what to do, post on Instagram, and I kind of do that. But I don't really the business side. I keep it for my family friend to deal with. But I just do what he tells me to do.
And so, I mean, how long did it take to plan to get those things? Were they fairly quick after NIL went into?
Yeah, they were fairly quick, but I just wanted to make sure that I was making the right decisions and things like that. And so, my family friend's been helping me out and stuff like that. So, like I said, I keep it for him. Wherever he kind of is my person. Everybody sends him emails and things like that. So once he finds a deal that is probably going to benefit me more, then he tells me about it, and we just kind of work on it.
At the beginning of the season, Adia was mentioning, the transfers that are coming in, they're learning a whole new defensive system. They haven't come from programs that play defense like you guys.
Yeah.
Where have you seen them grow defensively in these 3 games?
Oh, they've grown a lot. It's kind of hard when you're a transfer coming into a new system. I did it last year, and you just have to stick with the process, and I think they're sticking with the process very well. You see Coy, she got 4 steals in less than 8 minutes or something like that last game. You know, Araya came in against Louisville, and she got a couple block shots and, you know, rebounds and stuff like that. She was playing hard defense. So I think that, you know, it's just kind of helping us. Even Taylor, I forgot about Taylor. But Taylor came in, she was denying and things like that, and she was just giving us a spark off the bench. So I think that, you know, they're buying into the system and they're understanding that, you know, defense wins games. And so, you know, our offense is really good, but I think our defense is getting better every day.
You've known Danny for a while.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see in her? I mean, she comes in as a freshman big, and there are things that she's doing that you usually don't see from a freshman.
She has a lot of confidence, and, you know, I'm always going to push confidence in her. You know, I've known her since she was, I think, a 7th grader. She played up with me in high school, and so, you know, she's always been a beast. And I think now that she's seeing that she can be a beast and be a different type of beast in college, it's just motivating her more, and she wants to learn a lot more. And so every day she asks questions. She's one of the first people in the gym, one of the last people to leave, and, you know, she's just putting in the work to be a special talent for us. And I think it is going to show in the games that she gets in and stuff like that.
And you talked a little bit about, you know, PJ asked about you taking that last shot. How difficult was it for you guys to have to take it instead of thinking Ari is, you know, Ari was going to do it?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Ari hasn't played with us for 3 games, so we don't really think about that much. I mean, we take those shots in practice. You know, we practice how we play, and so, you know, there's different situations in practice that everybody has different times to take those shots. And like I said, it was just my time. I was open and I knocked them down, but it's going to be everybody this year. It's not going to be just me. It's going to be Sam, Kate, you know, maybe Lauren, Shayna, and things like that. So I think everybody has the confidence to knock it down, and they're all going to get their opportunities.
During Monday's game, you talked to Kate about racing the banner and, you know, seeing that goal. What was it like for you to see that banner go?
It was phenomenal. It just shows that all our hard work is paying off. I mean, we still have a lot more work to do because we want to raise a championship banner. You know, losing by 1 with 6 seconds on the clock, you know, kind of hurts. But just knowing that we have that to show for our hard work level last year, and just knowing that we can come back and go harder this year with the talent we have.
Any more questions for Bendu? Awesome. Thank you very much, Bendu.
Thank you, guys.